Hello, people of the world, I am Personified Fear, and welcome to a game that is very near and dear to my heart. It's actually one of the very first games that I have ever bought. This game is in a trilogy, is for the Game Boy Advance system, and it is based off of a TV show that I really did enjoy when I was younger. Ladies and gents, when the title comes up, I'll actually say its name. But I played this a lot when I had it on the Game Boy. I no longer own it. Hey, there's the title. This is Duel Masters Kaijudo Showdown. This is the first of a trilogy. I believe it's the first one. I'm pretty sure this is the first game. I'm not 100% on that, and I could be wrong, but I believe this is the very first game of this trilogy that exists. So, it is based off of the TV show Duel Masters, and the original one that involved card games, not the one that's on the hub that involves mixed martial arts and summoning monsters rather than using the cards and actually dueling. I was really into the card game because of the show, and when I finally learned how to play, I actually saw this at my local GameStop, and I had enough money, so I decided to go ahead and buy this. And since then, I've loved this game, and I've played all the games in the series as well. Each one gets progressively harder, and I guess you could say this one is probably this one is definitely the easiest of all the games. Because this was basically Duel Masters at its most basic form at the time, or at least from what I could tell, it was at its most basic form. But either way, whenever you start a new game, you'll always get a character. The main character guy is named Tom, and in every game, his name will be defaulted to Tom. I'll be picking you can also change how he looks, and I think this is the only game where you're allowed to do so. I'll be picking the black because black is my favorite color, as well as naming him. Instead of Tom, his name shall be Fonby. That's my name, Fonby. So my brother is leaving on a long journey, and it's time to say goodbye. Ah, brother, we have the same ski hair, and you look very weird. Also, you, for whatever reason, cannot change it so that way there's like lowercase letters in your name. I don't know why he has to be shouting at, why everyone has to shout at me, but I guess I'm like partially deaf. Either way, I'll be explaining the main dueling mechanics when we get into our very first duel. Well, actually, the tutorial duel, I should say, because we'll be getting to that before the part ends. I'll be sure to get to that. And there's a couple of other things I should explain as well. But for right now, the basic story is that our brother is leaving, and we have to say goodbye to him because he's going to be going on a dig, as we should easily be finding out right now. Here we go. Easy for you to say, you'll be on some wicked cool archaeological dig, and I'll be stuck here, playing card games. Like, what do you think this is? Yu-Gi-Oh? No, this is Duel Masters. It's completely different. It's based off, it's kind of like Magic, the Gathering. I think, it's made by the same, yeah, Wizard of the Coast did make Magic, right? I'm pretty sure they did. Either way, first, your own personal pocket gizmo. A trade item throughout the entire series. You'll be getting one of these every single game. Also, another side note, Duel Masters has had a couple of other games in its years, but the only ones I've known about are the 3 that are on the Game Boy, and there is also one on the PS2 that I also owned at one point. I don't know if I still own it. I might, but there is a possibility that I no longer have that game. That game is completely unrelated to the series. It does involve some of the characters that were in the original show as well as this game, but none of them really do anything, I guess you could say. The PS2 game, though, was really fucking cool. The 3D models of the cards, it was, oh my god, it was great. I really loved that game. But, Yeah, this game's a lot of fun. I played this game so much. I played it to death. I beat it multiple times just for the sake of beating it. There's the only thing you can really do for collection in this game is the cards themselves, and I don't believe there is like a collection bonus for doing it as well and whatnot. But either way, he talks about his pocket gizmo for a little bit. If you were reading that, hopefully I wasn't going too fast for you. And he also gives us our own deck. Well, his deck, I should say. He gives us that as a going away present because, you know, he's a good big brother and he won't be dueling anyone because he's going out to dig up fossils or Mayan bowls or something. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's digging shit. You know, it doesn't really matter. Also, we get these 5 shop tournament passes, which, by the way, will completely be gone by the end of the game. By the end of the game, you should not have those passes anymore, and I'm pretty sure you can't get any more. I could be wrong, though, because it's been years since I played this, so, yeah. Bye, brother. What a great guy. I'm really gonna miss him. So, one of the things that actually changes whenever you change your costume is actually, I believe it changes. I don't remember exactly, so do not quote me on this, but I believe by changing your costume in the beginning, it should also change your background for your character that you get, as well as what decks you use. So right now, my background is based off the water civilization, and I'll get to that a little bit later. But first, let's look at what happens. So you press start to enter your pocket gizmo, and you get your stats here. For the very first one, I have a total of 59 out of 300 different type of cards, 300 credits, which is our money. We have 5 passes, and that right there is our win-loss time, as well as how long we've been playing. We can go right here to deck management, and we can play with our decks. Oh, okay, so it changes automatically. It doesn't really matter what type of closure you're in. But either way, right now, we have a water and fire deck, and we also have a nature and fire deck. I say that it doesn't really matter, because I already tried to record this once, some stuff happened, and, you know, bullshit. So, I ended up losing that. And before, I actually had a water and darkness deck, and a light and fire deck. So yeah. Only thing that seemed to be staying here is what type of, like, well, I guess it, maybe it does matter what type of closure they're in. I don't know. I've really never seen a major pattern. Either way, go out here to cool stuff, which is basically where you're going to be seeing your mail and the G-books that your brother was talking about if you were reading, as well as the gist sites, which is completely disgusting. So we go to the gizmo here, and we can read all types of mail. This mail will basically tell us what our pocket gizmo can do and what each thing does. And I'll be explaining that anyway, so this mail is completely utterly useless. Thank you, brother. You're so great. So yeah, that's all a mail does. You can read emails. Go to G-books here, and basically it will tell you everything that you need to know about the game. Should you not talk tonight, that is in the card shop here. Go to Glossary, you can learn exactly what each of these things do and what they are. Attacking, your battle zone, double breakers, evolution, graveyard, mana. All that type of stuff, that's what the glossary will tell you. Special abilities will tell you about each card and what it is that they do. If it is a block, it will tell you blocker is, shield triggers, slayers, what happened, what each symbol basically means. You know, that's basically what the special abilities do. You go to rarity symbols, check and see how rare your card is. And finally, in card type, it will basically tell you exactly what it is that your card is saying. So at the top, you'll see your casting cost, symbol of the civilization is right in the back, but you can also tell basically by color. Your power is definitely the number, and your card type is represented by the 2 symbols that are down there. Right there, basically it means that the circle is basically a blocker, and I believe the R has something to do with attacking. I can't remember exactly. You can go into special abilities for that later, but who cares? Either way, that's all the G-books are. Go to gist sites, and it's only one thing. Basically, it will lead you straight to Duelist Weekly. Every single time you complete a tournament, it should update with something brand new, as well as some other random stuff that happened throughout the game. This will get updated as you go on, so you really don't need to worry about it. You can come here and just read up and see what it says, but it's really nothing all that important. We go here to the link cable thing, and this is only if you have a Game Boy as well as a link cable and someone who owns the game as well. You come here to this, and if a person owns the game and you have a link cable, you can link up with them, and you can actually duel them, and or you can trade cards with them. That's all that really does. And I don't really think there is a two-player aspect to that besides that, so there's no really walking around the world with them. At least I don't think there is. You go here to options to change your options. So I'm changing text speed to fast, AI speed to fast. I'll be changing battle zone to inactive after we do our very first battle, because there's really no point to keeping that on. I have no idea what graphic present does, and I'm going to be changing the wallpaper. I can have it to neutral, but I'm going to be changing it to light because more than likely that is the type of that I'll be having by the end of the game. The final symbol there is to save your game, so make sure you do that. You can save anywhere that you need to save. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can save, as long as you're not in the middle of a duel. That is the only time I believe you are completely incapable of saving. So make sure that if you're about to fight off against someone very important, that you save. Right here is Knight. He'll be giving us our duel tutorial by the time the video ends, and I'll make sure that we're not on this for too long. So yeah, this guy is the father of this kid over here, and he owns the shop, and he'll be as well as giving us cards and telling us about tournaments. We'll talk to him later. This little guy is going to tell us about trading and a bunch of other shit. So let's talk to him right now. I keep wanting to call him Mitch, but I believe his name is Lakuta. Lakuta Matata. Lakuta Matata. Yeah, it's Lakuta. So if you can't already tell, I'm crazy about Duel Masters. This is one of my hobbies. I've heard of you. You're friends with Shobu, right? Yep, Shobu is an incredibly powerful duelist. I'm okay at dueling, but I mostly enjoy studying. I'm an avid reader of Duel Masters materials, and I'm well versed in all of his intricacies. And in the show, I'm pretty sure he has never dueled at all in the show. If he has, he's more than likely lost. I don't remember very well because I haven't seen that show since, I don't know, like, when was that? Like 2005 when I think I last saw that show? God, so long. So long. Either way, putting it in layman's terms, I can teach you the ropes. If you have any questions, I can always help you. Oh, okay, thanks, Lakuta. Anytime, my friend. Hey, is that a Pocket Gizmo? I'm gonna put stuff inside of it, because, fuck it. I'm gonna upload a program I wrote, because it'll help you trade cards. If you're unsure about trading a card, press the R button, and I'll give you advice on the trade. So yeah, that's all this really does. We can actually talk to people around here and learn about trading and whatnot. Your Pocket Gizmo also has spatial information about civilization, card, tech, strategies, all that other cool stuff. Wow, thanks, buddy. Yeah, because we want to trade cards now? Sure, let's go ahead and trade some cards, because this is what we want to do. Look at the shit that he has. Talking about sponsoring shops and whatnot. He has some really cool cards here, my personal favorite being the Chaos Whim, because I really want this. If you try to trade this, he'll ask for something that you have, and I'm not trading my Mini Titan Get. You can go fuck yourself. No, I want to keep that. Why does he want my Mini Titan Get? Fuck you. No, I'm keeping that. It's a good card. Alright, well, the only thing that he really wants right here is my Mini Titan Get. And he might ask for something else that's relatively rare, depending on what it is. You can press the R button if you're talking to someone else besides him. So right here, go to that option that looks like the two arrows. You can see what people have. They will always have 3 for you. You press the R button after you press the A button, and you can get advice on trading. I want a better deal. So yeah, he'll basically tell you that that's really not a good deal. If you go right here, and it'll basically say the same thing. So this guy's trying to gyp you. So fuck that kid. We go up here. This is for the tournament, but we won't be doing that for, I guess, until next part. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk to Knight, so that way we can end this part right off. Hi there, my name is Knight. You're a new face around here. Do you play Duel Masters? Yeah, I just got some new cards from my brother. Nice. Mind if I take a look? Sure. Go ahead and ship my shit. You don't have to talk to Knight at all. You can actually, I believe you can actually leave the shop without talking to Knight and continue on throughout the game. But if you're very new to the game and you have no idea what you're doing, you should probably talk to him so that way you can get some advice and learn how to play. Even though Akuda said that he'll give you advice, he really doesn't give you advice about dueling. He just gives you advice about trading. Either way, I'm an expert at this game. I'm so good. Excellent. I can't wait to see you play. That's awesome. So you talk to him again. Would you like me to explain the rules? If you say that you're a newbie, or if you say that you're a newbie to it, he'll have you go. He'll ask if you want to explain the rules either way. And if you're a veteran, he'll be like, yeah, do you want a refresher? At least I believe that's what he says. Either way, let's go ahead and have him explain the rules. The best way was playing. Take one of my decks so we can play practice duel. Press start at any time to cancel the game. The object of Duel Masters is to build powerful deck using creatures and spells. Each creature and spell has a different purpose, and each has its own weakness and strength. When you face an opponent, your aim is to knock them out in the game by sending the creature straight toward them. Let's give it a try. Every duel starts with a coin flip. The winner chooses whether to go first. If the person goes first, you may get creatures out faster, but it doesn't draw a card on its first turn. You are playing 2 out of 3 match. The loser of the previous game will choose whether or not to go first. So yeah, this is going to be dueling 101, ladies and gents. So I'm going to pick Tails, and he chooses to play first. I got it wrong. Fuck me. I think no matter what, you'll get that wrong. Either way, this screen is very important. It's your management screen. This icon shows you how many decks are in your cards. Yes, that makes perfect sense. What I just said. Everything I talk about is great. Either way, the shield icon is basically your life points for this. Your shields run out, and then you get attacked again. You lose. That shows how many cards in your hand, and that shows how many cards you have in your mana zone. And right there is your basically the same thing, but for your opponent. The left side is you, the right side is your opponent. That right there shows how many cards you're holding in your hand, and that right there shows how many cards are in your mana zone. You press the L button to look right into the battle zone, or you can view your opponent's hand and whatnot. Or you can view your opponent, see what your opponent has, or you can view and see what you have. That's basically it. That's all he was talking about there. So then, after the coin toss, the top 5 cards in our decks are placed face down in front of us. These are our shields. Next, we each draw 5 cards from the top of our decks. I need to put a card in my hand, in my mana zone, from my man. Okay, he's putting a card from his hand right into his mana zone. Basically, what that does is, if you've ever played Magic, it'll allow him to summon monsters. Now, the only way this works is you can only summon a monster that is of that civilization, just like in Magic. If you ever played Magic, you can play this. That's my basic rule. If you played this, you can play Magic. Magic is a lot more intricate than this game, but either way, if you played it, you'll understand the rules. So, basically, if you have something of the same civilization, you can summon it, as long as it's in your mana zone, and you have enough cards. So, he's going to put something right now into his mana zone. And so now, when he has enough cards to be able to summon one of his water civilization creatures, which is represented by the blue cards, he can go ahead and summon it automatically. He cannot summon anything or activate anything with the yellow cards. It's basically that. That's all he's teaching us here. Actually, I could honestly teach you this myself with a faster duel. But either way, he's telling you all the rules. I'm skipping you through it because he's saying everything that I've just told you. Either way, it's now our turn. And he's going to tell you which cards to put into your mana zone. Generally, you want to put cards that cost really high into your mana zone, like 7s, maybe 5s, and maybe even 4s, depending on how you feel about whether or not you can get that out quick enough, or whether you feel like you should probably just keep it. Either way, I'm about to summon a creature. So the card is tapped, basically meaning that you can no longer use this card after you summon him. You press the R button to summon, and there's your creature right there. He's automatically in the battle zone. When the creature is automatically summoned, they have summoning sickness, meaning they cannot attack the turn that they are summoned. So you're basically shit out of luck. Some cards do have abilities where if they are summoned, they can attack that turn, and there are spells where that will also negate it. We don't need to worry about that right now because he's about to talk about his turn. So what he's about to do is he's about to summon a light creature, Oracle. Oracle is a blocker. Blockers basically will block attacks for you, but they cannot attack, and they cannot attack a person directly. Basically meaning a blocker can only attack a creature that is tapped. It is completely incapable of attacking your shields directly. So that's all that really means. That's all that really means. Of course, I'm probably not making any sense whatsoever, so I do apologize. Oh, it must be put to the flame. Once again, I could easily just talk about this myself. Either way, I'm about to activate a spell called Prison Hammer. What this spell does is I can destroy a creature that has 2,000 power or less. So yeah. And I destroy his blocker. Which now allows me to attack with my creature. He's saying that we can look at his graveyard and whatnot if we press the L button. Either way, we press the A button to attack with a set creature that is ready to attack. We choose our opponent, and we can choose whichever shield. It doesn't really matter which shield we destroy. So I'm going to destroy this one. Any shield that is destroyed will automatically go into your hand. Now, personally, whenever this happens, I tend to let my opponent destroy at least up to 3 of my shields. Simply because I like having cards in my hand. Having cards in your hand can actually help you out a lot more than what you think. But as a result of that, you're gonna have to really play around that. So make sure that you're not really, fucking up. Either way, what you're capable of doing, if you have enough cards, is of course you can summon. You can summon more cards at once, or activate more cards than whatever. I can't speak. Either way, he's saying you can summon more than one creature in one turn if you have enough mana, and or you can activate a card, more than one card in one turn if you have enough mana. That's all there is to it. Either way, he's gonna start doing stuff now. He's gonna summon his own blocker. And now he's gonna go ahead and attack. So, because his creature is stronger than mine, he can easily destroy it. And this is basically what I'm going to be turning off after this battle. We won't be really needing to see those. It doesn't really matter. So yeah. Those nice little cutscenes there. Either way, the creature that has the highest power will instantly win, and the creature that has the lowest power will be sent to the graveyard. That's all he's really talking about there. So, because this card has 8 mana in order to summon, I have to put that into my thing because he told me to. And now I can summon this guy. And when he is summoned, I can destroy one of my creatures, and then he has to destroy one of his. I can just destroy my weakest creature, and he's going to keep his blocker, so that way he can block my attack. And I'm going to go ahead and attack with this guy. Now that plus basically means that he gets a boost into his attack whenever he attacks. It doesn't matter what he's attacking, he'll get a boost. So I can choose to destroy his card, choose one of the shields, but because he has a blocker, he can block with it. That's exactly what a blocker does. So yay! I hope I'm making sense, because I'm kind of skipping through all of Knight's dialogue here. Either way, if your card has the exact same amount of power, they both will be destroyed. Anyway, the circle with a line through it basically means this creature cannot be blocked. That's all that means. But I can destroy it whenever he attacks. Now, one thing you can do is, you can actually skip putting cards into your mana zone. By pressing the R button, you can just go ahead and skip putting anything in your mana zone if you choose not to. And you can just go ahead right to your turn where you can summon a creature or activate a spell. So I destroyed another one of his shields. By the way, it is impossible to lose this match. There's no way you will always win, no matter what. So don't worry about losing, because he won't let you. Either way, he's going to destroy one of my shields. And now we talk about shield breakers. If you get lucky, and it just so happens that there is a card with that little lightning bolt there, what will happen is, it will automatically activate whenever your shield is destroyed. And because of that, we can go ahead and activate it. You can choose to not activate it depending on what the card is, but he's making me activate it to destroy his blocker, because that's smart. Anyway, what this card does, my engagement is it will turn one of my creatures into a double breaker. What a double breaker is exactly what the name implies. I can destroy 2 shields at once. Now I can choose either creature for this because it doesn't matter. They also get a plus power into boost. And I can destroy both his shields with this guy. And because he's out of shields, when I attack him directly, I win. That is how dueling generally works. It's going to be a lot harder starting from here, because that's nothing more than a tutorial. But either way, next time we're going to go ahead and talk to Rakuta's dad, and we're going to go talk to this guy. Possibly, if I have enough time. Either way, this went on way too long, and I probably just did a duel myself to explain all this. But fuck it, tutorial duel! See you guys later.